Little Birds and Black Cat. Chapter 1. The Fall. High up in a tree, a mother bird had built her nest. Inside the nest were 3 young birds, chirping away as they waited for their mother to return with food. One day, as she was out hunting, a strong gust of wind blew through the tree. The nest swayed and the youngest bird tumbled out, falling to the ground below. As the baby bird lay there, helpless and scared, a slithery snake crept out from under a nearby bush. Its beady eyes fixed on the tiny creature, the snake prepared to strike. But just as it lunged forward, a black cat pounced from out of nowhere and knocked the snake away. The baby bird was safe, but it was clear that it could not survive alone on the ground. The black cat knew this too, and with a gentle nudge, it picked up the bird in its mouth and began to climb the tree. As the black cat climbed, the baby bird peered out of the cat's mouth and looked down at the ground below. It was a long way down, and the bird felt a pang of fear. But as the cat reached the nest and carefully placed the baby bird back inside, the bird felt a rush of relief and gratitude. The mother bird returned soon after and was surprised to see the black cat sitting outside the nest. But when she realized what had happened, she was grateful to the cat for saving her baby. And so, the unlikely friendship between the black cat and the birds began. Chapter 2. An Unlikely Pair. The black cat carefully placed the baby bird back in the nest, alongside its siblings. The mother bird chirped her thanks, and the cat sat nearby, watching over the nest protectively. The baby bird looked up at the cat with wonder and curiosity. Over the next few days, the cat visited the nest regularly, bringing small gifts of food for the babies. The mother bird grew to trust the cat and soon allowed it to approach the nest without fear. The baby birds also became accustomed to the cat's presence, chirping happily whenever it appeared. As the days turned into weeks, the black cat and the birds became unlikely friends. The cat would often sit outside the nest, watching over the babies as they chirped and played. And the birds would look up at the cat with adoration and gratitude. Despite their differences in size and species, the black cat and the birds formed a deep bond of friendship. They would often spend hours together, exploring the forest around their tree and sharing in each other's company. It was clear that this unlikely pair had found a true and lasting friendship. Chapter 3. Adventures in the Forest. As the baby birds grew, they began to explore the forest around their tree with the black cat as their guide. The cat showed them secret paths and hidden spots, and they would play games of hide and seek and chase each other through the undergrowth. One day, they came across a clearing where a group of rabbits were playing. The black cat knew that rabbits were its natural prey, but instead of hunting them, it sat down and watched as the birds played with the rabbits. It was clear that the black cat valued its friendship with the birds more than its hunger for prey. As they continued to explore the forest together, the black cat taught the birds about different types of insects and plants. They would often stop and rest in a sunny spot, with the birds perched on branches and the cat lying contentedly on the ground. The birds grew more confident in their flying abilities, and soon they were soaring through the trees with the black cat following close behind. They would dive and swoop, chasing each other through the branches and laughing with joy. As they spent more time together, the black cat and the birds became known throughout the forest as an inseparable pair. The other animals would watch in wonder as the cat and the birds flew and played together, marveling at their unlikely friendship. Through their adventures in the forest, the black cat and the birds learned that friendship knows no bounds, and that true friendship can overcome even the greatest differences. Chapter 4. A Test of Loyalty. One stormy night, a fierce wind blew through the forest, shaking the trees and rattling the windows of nearby homes. The mother bird knew that her babies would not survive the storm in their fragile nest. So, she called out to her friends for help. The black cat was the first to respond. It braved the winds and rain, climbing up the tree to the nest. With the help of its strong claws and nimble paws, it managed to carry each baby bird to safety, one by one. The storm raged on, and the black cat knew that it could not leave the babies alone. So, It curled up around the nest, shielding the birds from the wind and rain with its own body. It stayed there all night, comforting the babies with its warmth and purring softly to soothe them. As the sun rose and the storm finally subsided, the black cat emerged from its protective cocoon, tired but triumphant. The mother bird chirped her thanks, and the baby birds huddled around the cat, grateful for its loyalty and bravery. It was a true test of loyalty, and the black cat had passed with flying colors. The bond between the cat and the birds had grown even stronger, cementing their friendship for life. From that day on, the black cat was regarded as a hero in the forest, revered for its selfless actions and unwavering loyalty to its friends. Chapter 5. Forever Friends. After the storm had passed, the birds and the black cat returned to their tree. They were tired and wet, but grateful to be alive. They huddled together, sharing warmth and comfort. It was clear that their bond had grown even stronger after surviving such a scary experience together. As the birds grew older and learned to fly, they would often visit the black cat in its nearby home. They would perch on its windowsill and chirp away, telling stories of their adventures in the forest. The black cat would listen intently, purring contentedly as it basked in the warmth of their friendship. The black cat had become a beloved friend to all the animals in the forest, and it was clear that its loyalty and kindness had made a lasting impression. The birds, in particular, cherished their friendship with the black cat, grateful for all that it had done to protect and care for them. Years passed, and the birds eventually left the forest to start their own families. But they never forgot about their black cat friend. They would often visit, bringing their own young to meet the cat who had saved their lives. And even though the black cat grew old and gray, it remained a faithful friend to the birds until the end. It was a bond that had formed out of adversity, but had grown strong through love, loyalty, and a deep sense of friendship. In the end, the black cat and the birds taught the forest a valuable lesson: that true friendship knows no bounds, and that even the most unlikely of friends can form an unbreakable bond that lasts a lifetime. The end.